Hello, welcome to this video. So I journaled this last night before I went to sleep. My hair is really wet because I just got back from a walk in the rain. I'm going to be reading this journal entry because I basically wrote about what I learned from my last relationship, and I feel that it needs to be shared because I would say this to myself if I was a different person. So going through the trials and tribulations we're going to call him Bob. With Bob, has taught me that just because you have the ability to give love, even unconditional love, to others, that doesn't mean that it's worth your time for them to stay in your life, for you to stay in their life. The painful and disgusting and, regretful parts of life are to show us our internal reality. As much as I despise cheating, lies, deception, fighting, annoyances, etc., I still stuck around for so long because I, 1, had faith and trust in Bob, 2, thought that the good outweighed the bad, and 3, deep down, I believed that this is how relations go. This is just how relationships go. This is what I deserve. I knew from the jump that Bob was a flirt. He didn't look at our relationship with the gold and glitter or specialism that I did, because he was only able to see and show appreciation for the third-dimensional basic things. He only saw this in our connection because that's how he viewed himself and therefore his reality. He thought that I was worth having around. He didn't want to change his self in order to match myself. I didn't want to stop talking to him because he was different. I let myself ignore the truth that we don't have the same core values or interests. Even though over and over again I was disgusted with his perceptions and actions, I stuck around because my heart is big enough to love through it all. My love was expansive enough to stand by as a number one supporter of Bob, to the evolution of Bob, number one supporter of that. But the more I lingered within his aura, the more I got comfortable. I attached to this comfortable feeling because when you're comfortable, it is a perception of safety. It became my new normal. I didn't want to be alone. I didn't want to put myself on social media. I only wanted to share my opinions and epiphanies intimately with one-on-one conversations. The moments that he made me feel seen and cared for seemed like justice for all the bullshit and repeating cycles. I ignored all the cycles and synchronicities of the truth that I was holding on to something that was destroying me. We get so caught up in friends, family, jobs, relationships, dealing with all these problems because we believe that this is how it is and that there is no better. Without the love and acceptance of self, we will search for other people and things to give us this love and validation. Going through the ending and the aftermath of ending the relationship, that was the most painful because you're forced to feel, think, and reflect about what's no longer in your reality. It can cause a lot more uncomfortability knowing that it all could have been prevented if you chose to stick up and stand up for yourself and say, nah, I'll wait for someone who treats me better. And in the meantime, I'm going to do better for myself because that is the only way to attract and manifest. I was so used to the narcissism from my dad that the narcissism from Bob seemed acceptable, since he was able to be nicer and more loving at times. He also helped me escape the sad reality of my loneliness. My loneliness caused from disconnection from self and disconnection from spirit. Bob also helped me escape the sad reality that I had with my dad. We went on a lot of fun adventures. He made me have fun and feel appreciated. I can't take personally that Bob was literally just a human going through his own perception of life. He didn't want to let me go because he thought I was worth keeping around. But he also didn't want to stop the life, thoughts, motives, his whole perception of being that he was prior to meeting me. The physical attraction, the sex culture, it never sat right with me. The surface level of things makes me uncomfortable. I want to know its depth. I must accept that not all people have this same perception, and that is okay. It is important to not be mad or hold on to this hurt or betrayal or waste of time. If it wasn't for me experiencing all of that in all of its totality, I wouldn't be able to learn new things. Anyone could have told me everything that I just said, but by living through it, I'm able to feel it, to be able to share and connect and help others, to be able to relate and genuinely give hands-on advice. Without the realness and pain of experience, all of this would just be words, not truth, not passion. If I didn't go through the pain of attachment, detachment, letting go, feeling alone, I wouldn't have learned how to find self-validation. Building the confidence and courage from the basement, lighting the match from the bits and pieces left over after the tower, illuminating all that wanted to stay in the dark, forcing myself to see, feel all that was actually here right now. Building strength and endurance, realizing that if I can grow and develop into a better version of myself with no one's help, that means that I am all I've ever needed. Teaching me individuality and resilience, eliminating all fear. So no, I wouldn't change anything because now I have so much new truths I can share to help my reflection. Now I can look back and smile, maybe cry, hold myself and thank myself because I endured every single one of all those moments. No one lived out that experience for me. We're not supposed to hold on to anything. And then I ended it with, I love you, and then I put my name.